Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. Arnold Schwarzenegger is an Austrian-American actor, film producer, businessman, former bodybuilder, and politician. In this video, we will revisit all of Arnold's films from 1970 to 2022. Before we start, please subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. The 1970 American fantasy comedy movie Hercules in New York was helmed by Arthur Allen Seidelman and written by Aubrey Wisberg. In his acting debut, Arnold Schwarzenegger plays the title celestial hero who travels to New York City and gets into mischief. In the film, we see how Hercules relocates to New York and discovers that his old Greek way of living is incompatible with modern life, and an adventure begins. His father sends a couple of gods to fetch him back, which just makes matters worse. The film was released in 1970. Arnold was 23 years old then. Based on Raymond Chandler's 1953 novel, The Long Goodbye is a 1973 American mystery criminal thriller film directed by Robert Altman. Elliot Gould plays Philip Marlowe in the movie, which also stars Sterling Hayden, Nina Van Pallant, Jim Bouton, Mark Rydell, and an early, uncredited Arnold Schwarzenegger cameo. Arnold was 26 years old then. Stay Hungry is a 1976 American comedy drama film directed by Bob Rafelson from a screenplay by Charles Gaines. In the film, we see how a syndicate wants to rebuild a whole district, so they buy up every house, except for a small gym. A rich boy is planted by the syndicate as a dummy to buy the gym, but things don't go as planned. The Villain is a 1979 American Metrocolor Western comedy film directed by Hal Needham. In the film, we see how an outlaw eyes a stagecoach and a beautiful woman but is foiled by a handsome stranger in white, Arnold Schwarzenegger. It was Arnold's second film in 1979. He was 32 years old then. Scavenger Hunt is a 1979 American comedy film. Arnold appeared in the film as Lars, an instructor of the gym. Conan the Barbarian is a 1982 American epic sword and sorcery film directed by John Milius and written by Milius and Oliver Stone. In the movie, we see how Conan, who was sold into slavery when he was a kid, sets off to find the sorcerer responsible for the genocide of his family and people. Conan the Destroyer is a 1984 American epic sword and sorcery film directed by Richard Fleischer from a screenplay by Stanley Mann and a story by Roy Thomas and Jerry Conway. In the film, we see how Conan, a warrior king, is asked by Queen Tarimis to accompany her beautiful niece Jenna and help her in finding a magic gem. The Terminator is a 1984 American science fiction action film directed by James Cameron. We see how a cyborg assassin is sent back in time to kill Sarah, a waitress, in a bid to stop her son who will wage a long war against his enemy in the future unless the course of history is altered. Sonja is brutally raped by the soldiers of Queen Gedrin after she refuses to be her royal consort. Saved by goddess Skathak, Sonja attains special powers and vows to put an end to Gedrin's tyranny. Red Sonja is a 1985 American epic sword and sorcery film directed by Richard Fleischer and written by Clive Exton and George MacDonald Fraser. Ex-Black Ops Commando John's daughter Jenny is kidnapped by a band of revenge-seeking thugs. With only a few hours to find and rescue his girl, he sets out on an explosive mission. Commando is a 1985 American action film directed by Mark L. Lester. Arnold appeared in the film as a retired U.S. Army Colonel John Matrix. When the gangster for whom he took the rap Welch's, a convict breaks out of prison to get revenge. Raw Deal is a 1986 American action film directed by John Irvin from a story of Sergio Leone's screenwriters Luciano Vincenzoni and Sergio Donati. Dutch and his team are out on a mission to rescue a group of hostages in Central America. There, they discover that they are being targeted by an extraterrestrial warrior. Predator is a 1987 American science fiction action film directed by John McTiernan and written by brothers Jim and John Thomas. In a dystopian America, a falsely convicted policeman gets his shot at freedom when he must forcibly participate in a TV game show where convicts, runners, must battle killers for their freedom. The Running Man is a 1987 American dystopian action film directed by Paul Michael Glaser. A Russian policeman, Ivan Danko, has no choice but to team up with an arrogant detective. Together they must bring down a drug lord who was also responsible for Ivan's partner's death. Red Heat is a 1988 American buddy cop action film co-written, co-produced, and directed by Walter Hill. A pair of twins emerges from an experiment wherein one twin is gnomish while the other is king-sized. Separated at birth, they only meet as adults when Julius comes looking for his much shorter twin. Twins is a 1988 American buddy comedy film produced and directed by Ivan Reitman. Douglas Quaid tries to find the reason behind his recurring dream about Mars. He soon learns that a false memory has been planted into his brain and the people responsible for this want him dead. Total Recall is a 1990 American science fiction action film directed by Paul Verhoeven with a screenplay by Ronald Shusett, Dan O'Bannon, and Gary Goldman. John, a detective, is assigned the responsibility of posing as a kindergarten teacher so that he can track down a criminal. Kindergarten Cop is a 1990 American action comedy film directed by Ivan Reitman and distributed by Universal Pictures. It was the final movie of Arnold in the year 1990. A Terminator is sent on a mission to kill Sarah's son, John Connor. However, another cyborg, who was once after Sarah's life, has now been assigned to protect him. Terminator 2: Judgment Day is a 1991 American science fiction action film directed by James Cameron. Arnold Schwarzenegger became a household name after this film. Dave bears an uncanny resemblance with President Bill Mitchell. When Bill suffers a stroke while having sex with one of his aides, Dave is called to impersonate the president on an ongoing basis. Dave is a 1993 American political comedy film directed by Ivan Reitman, written by Gary Ross. Danny Madigan is an ardent fan of a Hollywood superstar. His best friend gives him a magical ticket that teleports him into the world of his favorite star. Last Action Hero is a 1993 American action comedy film directed and produced by John McTiernan and co-written by Shane Black. An Interpol agent tangles with drug traffickers after coming out of retirement to solve his friend's murder. BERETTA'S Island is a 1993 American direct-to-video action film directed by Michael Priest. A secret agent's life takes a shocking turn when he learns about his wife's extramarital affair. He must now not only save the world, but also save his own marriage. True Lies is a 1994 American spy action comedy film written and directed by James Cameron. Two scientists, Alex and Larry, create an experimental drug which helps women conceive. Things take a surprising turn when Alex tests the drug on himself. Junior is a 1994 American comedy film directed and produced by Ivan Reitman. John, a marshal with the Witness Security Protection Program, tries to protect himself and Lee Cullen, a witness in an illegal arms deal, after he learns that his mentor, a fellow marshal, is a mole. Eraser is a 1996 American action film directed by Chuck Russell. Howard, a haggard salesman, promises his son a Turbo Man toy for Christmas. He is forced to fight every parent and travel all over town to get the toy after he forgets to buy it. Jingle All the Way is a 1996 American Christmas family comedy film directed by Brian Levant. Batman and Robin try to prevent the evil pair of Mr. Freeze and Poison Ivy from freezing the town. While doing so, they also try hard to continue their partnership. Batman and Robin is a 1997 American superhero film based on the DC Comics characters Batman and Robin by Bill Finger and Bob Kane. The devil crashes a New Year's party in New York and inhabits a man's body. He searches for his bride, a woman named Christine York, as he wants her to bear his child and destroy the world. End of Days is a 1999 American supernatural action horror film directed by Peter Hyams. In the distant future, human cloning technology falls into the destructive, corrupt hands of a multinational corporation. But one man refuses to be a pawn in this deadly conspiracy. The Sixth Day is a 2000 American science fiction action film directed by Roger Spottiswoode. When a firefighter arrives to meet his family, all he witnesses is a bomb explosion damaging the surrounding area. He sets out on a mission to kill the man who planned the terrorist attack. Collateral Damage is a 2002 American action thriller film directed by Andrew Davis. A powerful cyborg from a post-apocalyptic future appears in search of a drifter. Soon, he must protect himself and his companion from a deadly robotic threat. Terminator 3: Rise of the Machines is a 2003 science fiction action film directed by Jonathan Mostow. Beck, a bounty hunter, visits the Amazon jungle to bring home his boss's son, Travis. Soon, they find themselves in danger as local goons wish to acquire the priceless artifact in their possession. The Rundown is a 2003 American buddy action comedy film directed by Peter Berg and written by James Vanderbilt and R.J. Stewart. A Chinese thief joins an eccentric Englishman who plans to circumnavigate the globe in 80 days to win a bet. Along the way, they encounter several obstacles and a detective determined to impede them. Around the World in 80 Days is a 2004 American action-adventure comedy film based on Jules Verne's 1873 novel of the same name and remake of the movie of the same name of 1956. A relinquished actor tries to rise back to fame by writing a sequel for his decade-old hit film. His dreams begin to shatter when he learns that his co-star is a rich kid without acting experience. The Kid and I is a 2005 American comedy film directed by Penelope Spheris and starring Tom Arnold and Eric Gores. A CIA's mercenary team is ordered to assassinate the dictator of a South American island without knowing that their mission is viciously planned by a vindictive CIA officer, James Monroe. The Expendables is a 2010 American action film written by David Callahan and Sylvester Stallone and directed by Stallone. All hell breaks loose when Barney, along with his band of old-school mercenaries, sets out on a path of carnage after one of their comrades gets killed during a simple task assigned by Mr. Church. The Expendables 2 is a 2012 American action film directed by Simon West, written by Richard Wenk and Sylvester Stallone. Owen, a former LAPD narcotics officer, must enlist the help of a ragtag group of his townsfolk to stop Gabriel Cortez, an international drug lord, from crossing over the border to Mexico. The Last Stand is a 2013 American action thriller film directed by South Korean film director Kim Ji-woon. Ray, an expert in security systems, is framed for a crime and sent to a high-tech prison. However, he uses all his knowledge and special skills with a little inside help to escape the facility. Escape Plan is a 2013 American prison action thriller film. It was directed by Swedish filmmaker Michael Hafström and written by Miles Chapman and Jason Keller. John Wharton, the captain of an elite task force, raids a safe house owned by one of the most lethal drug cartels with his team. Though the mission is successful, death awaits them. Sabotage is a 2014 American action thriller film directed by David Ayer and written by Ayer and Skip Woods. Barney assembles a new and younger team to capture Stonebanks, a co-founder of the Expendables. However, Stonebanks ends up capturing the new team and challenges an escaped Barney to save them. The Expendables 3 is a 2014 American action film directed by Patrick Hughes and written by Creighton Rothenberger, Katrin Benedict, and Sylvester Stallone. A man takes extreme steps to protect Maggie, his daughter, who is slowly turning into a cannibal after a zombie attack. He spends time with her, reminiscing about her childhood, dreading the future. Maggie is a 2015 American post-apocalyptic horror drama film directed by Henry Hobson. John sends Kyle to the year 1984 to protect his mother, Sarah, from being killed. When the timeline is altered, Kyle asks her to travel to the year 2017 to stop an AI system that wants to end mankind. Terminator Genisys is a 2015 American science fiction action film directed by Alan Taylor and written by Leda Kalogridis and Patrick Lussier. Desperate to save their marriage, a young couple takes a deal and moves into their dream home, but disturbing events reveal the house's troubled history. Aftermath is a 2017 American drama thriller film directed by Elliot Lester and written by Javier Gullin. From Fiji to the Bahamas, Jean-Michel Cousteau and his children explore the ocean to learn about the threats it faces. Wonders of the Sea 3D is a 2017 American documentary film co-directed by Jean-Michel Cousteau and narrated by Arnold Schwarzenegger. Blake, an assassin, is determined to become famous by killing the world's greatest hitman, Gunther, and hires a documentary crew to film the process as proof. Killing Gunther is a 2017 American mockumentary action comedy film written and directed by Taran Killam. James Wilkes travels the world on a quest for the truth about meat, protein, and strength. Showcasing elite athletes, special ops soldiers, and visionary scientists to change the way people eat and live. The Game Changers is a 2018 documentary film about athletes who have plant-based diets. On his journey to the Russian Far East, An English traveler enters China where he makes breathtaking discoveries, meets with deadly martial arts masters, and encounters the king of all dragons. Vai 2, Journey to China is a 2019 Russian-Chinese fantasy adventure film, directed by Oleg Stepchenko. When an advanced Terminator is sent into the past, a cyborg and a seasoned female warrior team up to stop the death of a young woman who is fated to ensure the survival of the human race. Terminator: Dark Fate is a 2019 American science fiction action film directed by Tim Miller and written by David Goyer, Justin Rhodes, and Billy Ray from a story by James Cameron. Thank you so much for watching our content. Please don't forget to subscribe our channel and hit the bell icon. See you in the next video.